Conformity and obedience are the unseen forces that shape our daily choices, influencing everything from what we wear to how we vote. The way we navigate these pressures can either liberate or suffocate our true selves. As we delve into the psychology of conformity and obedience, get ready to uncover the surprising ways in which our desire to belong can both empower and betray us. One of the most influential theories in understanding conformity is Solomon Asch's conformity experiment, conducted in the 1950s. In this landmark study, participants were asked to identify the length of a line compared to 3 other lines of varying lengths. Unbeknownst to the participant, the other individuals in the room were Confederates who intentionally gave incorrect answers. The results showed that approximately 75% of participants conformed to the group's incorrect answer at least once, even when it went against their own judgment. This study highlights the power of social pressure and how our desire for acceptance can lead us to conform, even if it means sacrificing our own accuracy or values. My colleagues in the field often refer to this phenomenon as normative influence, where we adjust our behavior to fit in with the group's norms, even if it doesn't align with our personal beliefs. Another key psychologist who contributed significantly to our understanding of obedience is Stanley Milgram. His famous obedience study, conducted in the 1960s, explored how far individuals would go in obeying authority figures, even if it meant harming others. In the study, participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to another person, actually a Confederate, each time they answered a question incorrectly. The results were startling, with many participants continuing to administer increasingly severe shocks despite their initial reservations and eventual distress. Milgram's work introduced the concept of agentic state theory, which suggests that when we're in a situation where we perceive someone else as being in charge, we tend to enter an agentic state, where we relinquish our personal responsibility and autonomy. This can lead to a diffusion of responsibility, where individuals feel less accountable for their actions because they're following orders. As we explore the evolution of our understanding of conformity and obedience, it's essential to acknowledge the role of cultural and historical context. For instance, during times of social unrest or political upheaval, the pressure to conform can be particularly intense. Consider the example of a country under authoritarian rule, where dissenting voices are suppressed and citizens are encouraged to prioritize loyalty over individual freedom. In everyday life, understanding conformity and obedience can help us navigate complex social situations and make more informed decisions. For instance, imagine being part of a team at work where everyone seems to be on board with a particular project, but you have reservations about its feasibility. Recognizing the potential for groupthink and conformity can empower you to speak up and share your concerns, potentially avoiding costly mistakes. Therapeutic approaches, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can also help individuals develop greater awareness of their tendency to conform or obey authority without critically evaluating the situation. By becoming more mindful of our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, we can cultivate a stronger sense of self and make choices that align with our values rather than simply following the crowd. The interplay between biological, psychological, and social factors is also crucial in understanding conformity and obedience. Research has shown that certain personality traits, such as extroversion and neuroticism, can influence an individual's susceptibility to social pressure. Additionally, factors like stress, anxiety, and fatigue can impair our ability to make independent decisions, making us more prone to conform. Some critics argue that the Asch and Milgram studies were too narrow in their focus, failing to account for individual differences and cultural variations. Others contend that these studies were too artificial, not accurately reflecting real-world scenarios. As we further delve into the realm of conformity and obedience, it's essential to explore how these forces interact with our individual identities and group dynamics. One crucial aspect to consider is the concept of identity-based conforming, where individuals adjust their behavior to fit in with a particular social group or identity. This phenomenon is closely related to the idea of social identity theory, which suggests that our sense of self is deeply rooted in our membership within various social groups. A notable example of this can be seen in the way people often conform to certain norms or behaviors when they join a new social group, such as a sports team or a community organization. My experience with clients has shown that this desire to belong and identify with a particular group can sometimes lead individuals to compromise their personal values or beliefs. For instance, imagine a person who joins an environmental activist group and finds themselves conforming to certain radical ideologies, even if they don't entirely align with their own views. The work of psychologist Henri Tajfel is particularly relevant here, as he explored how social identity influences our behavior and attitudes towards others. His research demonstrated that even when groups are formed arbitrarily, individuals will still exhibit a strong sense of loyalty and conformity to their group. This highlights the powerful role that social identity plays in shaping our actions and decisions. In addition to social identity theory, it's also important to consider the impact of power dynamics on conformity and obedience. Research has shown that when there is a significant power imbalance within a group or relationship, individuals are more likely to conform to the dominant person's views or behaviors. This can be seen in situations such as a boss-employee relationship or a teacher-student dynamic. A fascinating study that illustrates this concept is the Stanford Prison Experiment, conducted by Philip Zimbardo in 1971. In this study, participants were randomly assigned roles as either prisoners or guards, and the results showed a shocking level of conformity to these roles, with guards exhibiting authoritarian behavior and prisoners becoming submissive. This experiment highlights how quickly power dynamics can influence our behavior and lead to conformity. The therapeutic implications of understanding conformity and obedience are also significant. By recognizing the ways in which social pressure and power dynamics can shape our actions, individuals can develop greater self-awareness and learn to make more autonomous decisions. Techniques such as values-based action can help people clarify their personal values and priorities, making it easier for them to resist conforming to external pressures that may not align with these values. In everyday life, being aware of the forces of conformity and obedience can empower us to navigate complex social situations more effectively. For example, imagine being in a meeting where everyone seems to be agreeing on a particular course of action, but you have reservations about its potential consequences. By recognizing the potential for groupthink and conformity, you can take a step back, assess the situation critically, and potentially avoid making a decision that might not be in the best interest of the group or organization. In some cultures, conformity is highly valued, while in others, individuality and autonomy are prioritized. Understanding these cultural differences can help us better navigate our own social environments and make more informed decisions about when to conform and when to challenge the status quo. The interplay between biological factors such as stress and anxiety and conformity is also an area of ongoing research. Studies have shown that individuals under high levels of stress or anxiety are more likely to conform to social norms, as they may feel a greater need for security and social support. This highlights the complex relationship between our internal states and external social pressures. As we delve deeper into the complexities of conformity and obedience, it's essential to explore how these phenomena manifest in real-world settings. One area of significant interest is the role of social norms in shaping our behavior. Social norms refer to the unwritten rules that govern human behavior in a particular group or society. These norms can be incredibly powerful in influencing our actions, often operating outside of our conscious awareness. The concept of social norms is closely tied to the idea of social identity theory, which posits that individuals derive a sense of belonging and identity from the groups they belong to. For instance, imagine attending a music festival where everyone is dressed in a certain style. Even if you wouldn't normally wear such clothing, you might find yourself conforming to the dress code to avoid standing out and to feel like part of the group. The work of psychologist Solomon Asch is particularly relevant here. In his famous conformity experiments, Asch demonstrated that individuals would often conform to a clearly incorrect answer when surrounded by others who gave the same incorrect response. This phenomenon highlights the powerful influence of social norms on our behavior, even when it goes against our better judgment. What's striking about Asch's findings is that participants were not coerced into conforming. They did so voluntarily, illustrating the subtle yet potent force of social pressure. Another crucial aspect to consider is the role of power dynamics in conformity and obedience. This can be seen in situations such as a boss-employee relationship or a teacher-student dynamic, where the person in authority holds significant influence over the other. The Milgram experiment, conducted by Stanley Milgram in the 1960s, provides a chilling illustration of how power dynamics can lead to obedience. Despite many participants expressing reservations about continuing, the majority obeyed the instructions from the authority figure, even when it meant administering what they believed to be lethal doses of electricity. This experiment starkly highlights how obedience can lead individuals to act against their moral principles when faced with authority. Understanding conformity and obedience has significant implications for therapeutic approaches and interventions. Techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help people identify and challenge negative thought patterns that may lead to conformity, while values-based action can assist individuals in clarifying their personal values and priorities, making it easier for them to resist conforming to external pressures that may not align with these values. For example, imagine working on a team project where everyone seems to agree on a particular strategy, but you have reservations about its potential success. Moreover, understanding these phenomena can also inform strategies for promoting positive social change. By leveraging the power of social norms, individuals and groups can work to create environments that encourage desirable behaviors, such as reducing energy consumption or increasing community engagement. This approach recognizes that people are more likely to adopt certain behaviors if they see others doing so, highlighting the potential for conformity to be a force for good. The interplay between cultural norms and societal expectations also plays a significant role in shaping our understanding of conformity and obedience. Different cultures have varying levels of emphasis on individuality versus collectivism, which can influence how individuals balance personal autonomy with group harmony. For instance, in some cultures, conformity is highly valued as a means of maintaining social cohesion, while in others, individual freedom and autonomy are prioritized. In conclusion, our exploration of conformity and obedience has revealed the profound impact these phenomena have on our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The insights from psychologists like Solomon Asch, Stanley Milgram, and others have highlighted the subtle yet potent forces that shape our actions in groups and societies. These findings are not just relevant to historical events or extreme situations. They are intimately connected to our everyday lives, influencing our decisions, relationships, and sense of identity. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, recognizing the interplay between conformity, obedience, and personal autonomy is crucial for cultivating a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. By acknowledging the tension between fitting in and standing out, we can strive for a more authentic, compassionate, and responsible existence. Ultimately, the study of conformity and obedience invites us to ponder a fundamental question: how do we balance our need for connection with our desire for individuality? That's all for today's Psych with Sigmund. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.